I haven't put the battery in the bigger camera, so let me put the battery in here. Find your comfortable standing position. Today, movement focused, and we're going to work on our tiger squat, some single leg balance, so really strengthening the legs, strengthening our balance, that vestibular system. Let me just see if I can turn the big camera on so you can see properly. Is that working? Let's start off by, let me make sure that's in the right place. Yes, but it's a wrong angle. So, there you can see the worktops. Quickly see the worktops. Everybody was just asking about the worktops there. So let's start off by knocking, taking your feet shoulder width apart. Little bit of bend in the knees. The reason why we're bending in the knees, softening in the knees, is so that when we're moving from the hips and the center, you've got that connection to the ground and that we're not locking the knees out. So we're really, really strong and stable through the lower body. And then you can lift and lengthen the spine. The whole reason we are doing this movement, this warm-up exercise, is to get rotation through the spine, get movement through the spine. And we're tapping back of the hand on that lower back, just tapping, waking up, reminding ourselves that we have a lower back, we have space behind us. We're tapping on the belly too, activating pressure points, encouraging blood flow, lymphatic drainage, and we're just breathing easy, naturally in and out through the nose. Bring your attention to the shoulders. Really just let go and relax the shoulders. So you're not having to do any work with the shoulders. All the work is going on with the lower body. Upper body is just following. Relax the upper back too. So feel the space between the shoulder blades as you rotate around the spine. Let's make a light fist of the arm that swings in front, and you're just tapping now on the long point, which is just below the collarbone. Just a very light tap. And if it feels good, you can take a fuller breath through the nose, all the breath in through the nose. You can release a little bit more out through the mouth. Releasing any tightness and tension. The front arm, now we cup the hand, we come into the shoulders. Getting some vibration in those big muscles, really good. Again, if you've got tightness in those muscles, over tight muscles, really keep tall through the crown. So keep lifting through the crown, keep the spine long. Back down to chest. And back down to belly. Oiling the spine. Slowing it down. It's Really slow it down. A little bit of resistance now with the arms and with the hands, but still with that softness in the elbows, softness in the wrists, relaxation in the shoulders, and connection to the ground through the legs, into the feet, into the heels. And lifting and lengthening the spine. Nice. Slowing it down. Take a moment just to stand and balance, so just to tune in with your alignment to gravity. So take your feet about hip width apart. Just move your hips slightly forwards and backwards. Find that sweet spot where they're balanced. A little bit more weight through the heels. Lengthen up the spine. Give a little head nod. So that little head nod is a really nice way of lengthening the spine, lengthening the back of the neck, and just popping the head. It's like sitting the head on top of the spine, and the spine goes right up under into the skull there. So you're getting your head balanced right on top of the spine there. And just stand for a moment, breathing easy. Coming down from the crown, through the head, relaxing the face muscles, relaxing the shoulders down, relaxing the chest, relaxing the rib cage, relaxing the lower back, softening the abdomen. We often hold a lot of tension in the tummy, in the lower abs, so just soften pelvic floor, soften the hips, and then feel the strength of the legs in connection to the ground. Soften the knees, soften the ankles, give the toes a little bit of a wiggle. And step out. Let's go to our shoulder width, a little bit more bend in the knees. We're going to do spinal cord breathing. So as we breathe in, we tilt the pelvis so we spill out in front of us. So we're tilting the pelvis forwards, if you like, spilling out in the front. As we bring the elbows back, what we'll do this time is we'll lengthen the back of the neck. So rather than what we usually do of looking up, is you actually lengthen the back of the neck and bring the chin towards the chest. So you're doing that as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you curl up into the little ball as we do usual, keeping the knees bent. Sorry, I straightened my legs then. So breathe in and tuck the chin, lengthen the neck. It's almost like you're bringing the back of the head or the nape of the neck back. Breathing in, breathing out, curling up into a little ball. Breathing in, breathing out. So extending the spine, lifting the sternum, but just bringing that chin towards the chest. Breathing out. Well, this feels good this morning. Breathing in, breathing out. Keeping those knees bent, getting that movement with the pelvis, tilting backwards and forwards. Opening up the chest. Some days there are various movements that you just realise you need a little bit more of, and I could do this a lot longer. Couple more, breathing in, breathing out. Nice. And then come up to standing, and let's do a little bit of dog wags the tail. So hips shifting side to side, strong through the lower body, and then you're just letting that upper body wave. The spine is waving side to side. And it ripples up the spine. So focus on the lower back. Feel that movement side to side of the vertebra of the lower back. Just focus on the lower back. Work your way up the spine. So mid-back. Get that movement through the mid-back. That crack is not my back, it's the floor. There's something going on underneath this floor here. So mid-back. And then upper back. Often this is the more challenging part, the upper back. Keeping tall through the crown of the head, and then the head follows. So the head is on top of the spine. Good. Really get that wave through the spine. Remembering that every time we take a step, there's a very subtle shift and wave laterally side to side. Obviously we're not doing this as we're walking in a huge range of motion, but there's that very subtle shift every time you land, and particularly when we're running, there's more force going through. We have to absorb more force as we land, so we want that freedom to have that little bit of subtle lateral shift in the spine. We're going to work on our tiger squat and some balance, so let's work on our hips, get our hips warmed up. Let's keep a little bit of bend in the knees, do the big hip circle. So round and then out to the side. So this is different to what we've just done in shifting the weight like this. You're actually taking the hip out, taking the hip back, bringing it out to the other side, bringing the hips forward. So big hip circles going in one direction. You'll feel that nice little stretch through the hamstrings, but just keep that little bit of a softness in the knees so that they're not locked out and that it's not really, you don't get that like that nervy sensation through the hamstrings. You get more of a stretch. Also be aware of the ball of the foot stays connected to the ground, not forced into the ground, but there's just that connection with the ball of the foot. The feet aren't rolling out. So as you roll around, just have that awareness of your bobbling spring or the ball of the foot connected to the ground. You can, of course, put your hands on your hips if that helps the movement. Let's go in the opposite direction. And remember that all of these movements that you've done, you can do any time of the day. You can just go, oh, I need to stand up a little bit, just do some hip circles, just do one or two in one direction, one or two in the other direction. You don't have to spend a whole 15 minutes or 20 minutes doing a warm-up. Just throw in these moves anytime during the day. Good, then come up to standing and let's do some leg swings. So we just swing that leg across the body. We stabilize, remember be strong and stable on the balanced side, the support side, and then just free up that swing leg. So we swing it across and back and then land softly, no crashing down. And one of the keys, the tricks to balancing is to remember to keep tall. So we tend to just think down and balance on the one side, but lift up, help. Imagine you've got a little string lifting you up, and that helps you balance. So not only are you balancing down, you're balancing and lifting up. Swing across. freeing up that swing leg. So again, it's brilliant, really good for the hips. Do one more each side. And then shake your legs out a little bit. And then we'll go into a full body shake. So either just using the legs to pump or tapping the heels into the ground if that feels comfortable, to really get some vibration through the body. Using the legs as pumps, then bringing the arms into it, so shaking the wrists. And then using the spine as well. We've mobilized the spine well. So just let that spine move, the head move. If it feels good, full breath in through the nose. And let go. Full breath in. And really give yourself a good shake. One more. And slow it down. Slow it down. Come back to that standing position we did at the beginning. Notice the difference in what we just spent 15-20 minutes doing, that mobilization stuff. Notice the difference in how you are feeling. Notice the tingling sensations anywhere in the body. And then step out. Nice, easy, strong, powerful, but relaxed breathing, soft, relaxed breathing, slow tigers. Strong through the arms, so use the fingers. This really helps to engage the back. And then the fingers are soft as you come up to standing. Get that spine wave as you come up to standing. Just go down to comfortable. No forcing. Come back up, push through the heels. Have the intention of keeping facing forward. So it's almost like lifting the sternum as you go down, rather than tilting over. So it's like you could look in that direction, or respond to something over there, something over there. So I'm not tilting over, just lowering your center of gravity. And then pushing, use the lower body. So all you're using your legs to come up to standing. Slowly down, breathing easy in and out through the nose. No struggling, no losing control, just smooth, strong movements. Nice and slow. If you can go a little bit lower, go a little bit lower, but just be comfortable. Take it to your edge rather than forcing anything. And you know the drill by now. If the breathing changes, if you unconsciously hold the breath, you've gone a little bit too far for what we're aiming to achieve with this practice this morning. Nice and tall through the spine. Just breathing easy in and out through the nose. Not necessarily breathing with the movement either, so you don't have to breathe. You don't have to extend that breath, just be breathing comfortably. All looking very strong on Zoom, looks good. Let's do a couple more. Relaxing the face muscles. Smiling. And then come up to standing. Take a little rest. The breath might be catching up a little bit after you've done that, so that's fine if the breath starts to be a little bit fuller, a little bit quicker, but you're not out of control, so just let the breath settle. The heart rate, you will feel the heart rate maybe raised a little bit, just let the heart rate settle. It's quite nice to do another scan again from crown, relaxing down, relaxing shoulders, relaxing the chest and the rib cage, lower back, lower abdomen into the hips. It's almost just like everything relaxing down and out through the strong legs into the ground. And then bring the feet a little bit closer together and we'll do our step forward. So I'll just show you first, and if I'm mirroring you, I'm stepping forwards with my left, so a slight turn out. As you step forwards with your left, you shift the weight, so you shift your body weight onto that left side. So this left leg becomes the support leg, the standing leg. We look forward, so you're still facing forwards with your sternum. So we're doing the tiger. As we come down, you'll notice that right heel peels off the ground because I've got most of the weight down my left. And then I'm coming down. And then I'm pushing again. Left heel is doing all of the work to bring me up to standing. And then I'm stepping back. And then I'm stepping forwards with the right. Shift the weight, get that weight over the right side so you can peel this left heel. All that strong work going on that on the right leg, pushing through the heel. And then step back. And if you've got space, you could do this just walking forward. You don't have to do that step back. So if you decide to do it outdoors, you can step forwards and then come up and step forwards, shift the weight. This is what we were doing at the retreat in Scotland at the weekend, in the woods, stepping forwards, so I'll come back. And we're keeping that upper body facing forwards. So we're just using each separate side of the body. Balance, come down, step, but our intention is moving forward, so we keep the focus forwards rather than side. We're not doing a side one. Let's do one more on the left, if you're still following me on the left, breathing easy. And then one more on the right. Really strong, be confident and stable on that right side. Push up through the heels, come up to standing. It's good. Shaking out the legs. And then let's explore a little bit more balance. So we'll do monkey, picking that fruit. So we'll step forwards on the left, mirroring you, shift the weight, keep that back leg now with the ball of the foot connected to the ground. So you're just lightly tapping the ball of the foot on that right leg. You're taking that left hip back. So we're bending the leg, we're bending the knee and the hip, and you're just rotating and reaching and visualizing. I'm just picking some fruit from down there, and then you're coming up to standing on that support leg. So you're using this leg down, picking the fruit, pushing through the heel, coming back up to standing. Then step back, step forwards on the right, shift the weight, ball of the foot. So you're just lightly touching the ball of that left foot. This hip goes back, so bend the knee, bend the hip as you're reaching down. I'm reaching across, picking the fruit, using that right hip to really push the heel into the ground. Come back up to standing. Let's do that one more each side. So step forwards, balance, heel the heel, use that leg just to balance. Reach, pick the fruit, come back, step forwards, shift the weight, lower the hips, reach down, pick the fruit, push back up, come up to standing. So just a couple of things on that, and I'll show you from the side. Make sure that when you step forwards onto that, I'm on the right leg now here, when you're reaching down, I'm not bending down like this, so I'm not overloading that lower back. Really use this leg, really use that support leg. So the first thing I do is take that hip back. So when I take that hip back, my upper body follows. So think of the upper body following, and then I can reach down. There's a big difference between this and reaching over where you may be straining or loading the back a little bit too much. So just lower. Doesn't matter if you round it a little bit because we're not carrying weight. Lower, but use that hip, use that leg, reach, push through this heel. So I'm using this leg to bring, I'm not using the upper body to bring myself up. I'm using this leg to push. This upper body is nice and light and lifted. So it's really using the legs. Give the legs a little bit of a shake out. And now we'll challenge ourselves a little bit more if this is comfortable for you. If you can do this, this is fine. If not, just stick with that balance, keeping that back leg on the ground. But if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, we step forwards, shift the weight, lower the hip, and then as you lower the hip, and you get confident that you're stable, you can raise that back leg off the ground. And then you reach and pick the fruit. And see if you can keep that back leg off the ground as you straighten that support leg to come back up to standing. No crashing down. And then step back. And then step forwards. Shift the weight, balance the balance the ball of the foot, take the hip back. So you're really confident that you're strong and stable through that support leg. You can start to reach for the fruit, and it's a little bit further, so you just need to take that back leg off the ground. Use this other arm to counterbalance. Pick the fruit. See if you can then stand up. Really use that supporting leg to come up to standing. I look good on Zoom, nobody's fallen over yet. Let's do one more each side. Oh, it's 8:30. Let's do quickly one more each side. I was enjoying myself too much. Step forwards, balance, don't do it too quickly. Balance, balance, balance. Reach down. Pick the fruit. Slowly back up. It's all about going nice and slow, not losing control. Last bit of hard work. Step forwards. peel the heel, load that support leg, be confident and strong and stable on that support leg, trail leg, lift, visualization of picking the fruit, calming up to standing, and then taking a rest there, shaking your legs out. Shake the legs out, and we will finish there. Nice. I didn't realize what time it was then. I was having so much fun. Thank you everybody for joining today. I hope you enjoyed that session. Next Tuesday I will see you for breathwork at 8 o'clock, and next Thursday we'll explore a little bit more of this balance stuff as well, because it's all looking really good. If you've got any questions or comments, pop them on Facebook, pop them on YouTube, or pop them in the training portal if you're on the premium subscription. And have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Take care. Thank you. Bye.